Hey, this is Adrienne Barbeau, and you may know me from Maude or Grease or a thousand horror films in the 80s, The Fog, Cannonball Run, Back to School, you name it, my favorite Carnival. But what you're going to know me for today is you're watching FaceTime with Todd Wharton.
Hey guys, this is Grace Humphries, and you are watching FaceTime with Todd Wharton.
From Times Square in New York City, it's FaceTime with Todd Wharton. With special guest, Adrienne Barbeau. And musical guest, Humphries. And now, here is your host, Todd Wharton.
So welcome to another edition of FaceTime with Todd Wharton. I'm your man, your host, Todd Wharton, and I am excited about today's show because we have one of film and TV's original screen queen right here on the show. And because of that, we're going to dedicate this next thriller trailer to her. So guys, this is Hi Barbie. Check it out.
Fired! Shots fired! Shots fired, what's the location? 41st Street, shots fired!
Gods. I'm a dirty little girl. I'm a dirty little girl.
See anyone come in here? Man, I'm a blind ass motherfucker. What do you think? Sorry about it. Donuts. You mind? Hi, Bobby.
Man, this is some bullshit. We have a great show for you guys tonight. Tony and Golden Globe nominated actress, that's right, Adrienne Barbeau is going to be in the house. And then later on, country music star Grace Humphries will be here performing a hit song, Why'd You Give Up? Right here on FaceTime with Todd Wharton. So guys, stick around and we'll be right back after these messages. FaceTime with Todd Wharton is proudly sponsored by Fix Your Fungal Nail by Fix Your Feet Products, formulated by podiatric surgeon Dr. Yolanda Ragland to clear nails of fungal infection. For more information, go to fixyourfeetproducts.com. And by Sharp Lens Photography, capturing excellence since 2011. For more information, go to sharplensnyc.com. So welcome back to the show, everyone. So my guest tonight, again, is a Tony and Golden Globe nominated actress. You've seen her on Broadway. You've seen her on feature films like The Fog, Creepshow, Cannonball Run, Back to School, and so many more. And of course, she has a nickname of the Screen Queen, and I can't wait to talk to her about her past and her present projects that she is working on as well. Guys, please welcome to the show, my girl, Adrienne Barbeau. Adrienne, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm well. I'm well. I should say I'm well, and I'm warm. I don't know what you are, but we
Let
have
me put it to
80
you this
degree
way.
weather here.
Let me put it to you this way. It is cold in New York, but I just got back from Buffalo because my
Oh my
brother lives
God.
up there.
Ugh.
And I woke up on Saturday. My brother's like, Todd, did you bring ski tights? And I was like, no. And I'm like, why? It's like, it's -5 degrees. And I'm like, what you talking about, bro? Like, what you mean it's -5 degrees? I'm like, is that why I woke up? My underwear is stuck to my body. Like I can't even go to the bathroom right now. What's going on right now? This is horrible. So I do like the cold, but I don't like when I wake up and my whole body is up. So
Yes.
it's like just want to throw that out there. But anyway, let's get back to you because that's a whole
Okay.
nother story. Adrienne, first of all, congratulations on a career, not just a couple of things. I'm talking about a career that you have lasted decades. Okay. I've spoken to icons in Hollywood past 5 years, my 5th-year anniversary as of February 8th, right, of the show, and to be able to interview people that have sustained a career of iconic roles. So I want to say congrats to you because it's amazing to see somebody live their life in passion and be paid for it at the same time. So kudos to you, first of all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've been really blessed. And those are wonderful words. I have lived my life in passion. I don't feel like I've ever worked a day in my life.
Yeah,
And I've been able to make a living at it, you
yeah,
know,
which is,
and the living.
and you did it on, and now here's the crazy thing. You did it in Broadway, you did it on film, you did it on TV. Now, if all actors know this, but a lot of people don't, there is a difficult scale in acting. You know, I always tell people one of the easiest things to do in acting is film because you get to redo screen scenes because of the budget, right? TV, you don't get to redo as much because there's a smaller budget. And then theater, I always tell people is the hardest because you have to be really good at making mistakes in front of an audience because you need to be able to ad lib where the audience didn't realize you screwed up, right? Um, is theater your first passion when it comes to acting? How's that?
No, it is not. It is what I started out doing. I started out doing community theater when I was 15.
Yeah,
And then when I was 18, I went overseas and entertained the armed forces doing musical comedy, a musical comedy review. That was my first paying job, $7 a day. Uh, we were in Korea. We were right on the DMZ. We were in Taiwan, and Japan, and an atomic testing center called Johnston Island. But I started out doing theater, and then I went to New York to be a stage actress. I didn't know anything about film or television. I had never watched really. I wasn't a moviegoer really. And because I started doing stage at a fairly early age, I never saw TV at night. You know, I was always
yeah,
rehearsing or else on the boards. And in those days, 1965, when I moved to New York, I thought LA was a flesh market. You know, I didn't know what that meant, but my mother
yeah.
wanted me to go to LA because it was closer to home. But I went to New York and then did theater for 8 years. And
Mhm.
I've done, I have gone back to it. But at this time, well, it always, first of all, comes down to the words on the page. You know, the medium is secondary to,
Of
do I
course.
love the script? Do I love the character? In 2016, they offered me the opportunity to play Pippin's grandmother in the national tour of Pippin,
Yeah.
the production with all the acrobatics. And so I was singing the song in the second act, hanging from a trapeze 15 feet in the air, no net, and upside down singing a song. Well, you don't get offered that kind of role very often. So I did take that one. I've gone back several times to do Fiddler on the Roof, which was my
Mhm.
first Broadway show. I
Yeah,
was Seidel in those days, and I've gone back to do Golda, Mama,
yeah.
several times. And if anybody invited me back to do Yenta, I'd be there, you know.
Santa, wow.
But I really do. I enjoy working in film and television because my body clock is set. I wake up at 5 in the morning or 5:30, and
Okay.
I'm going all day. And then 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock comes around and it's like, oh my gosh, okay. I don't
Is
want to
it
have
nighttime
my
yet?
energy up to go back on stage, you know. So, but really it comes down to the role. It
I
comes down
love
to
it.
the role.
And
Yeah.
Broadway is so great because you get to connect with the audience that you're entertaining. Where when you're
Yes.
behind your camera, you're connecting with the crew, but there's a different feeling of connecting with people that paid the ticket to come see you act than if people are being paid to make you a better actor by showing who you are through the lens, right? There's a totally different perspective than that because you're working with a crew and they want to better your acting with editing and everything else. But when you do it in front of an audience that actually came to see you, there's a feeling of, wow, these people work 9 to 5 and revolve their world about coming to see me, which is, I think sometimes actors forget that there are people like me that, well, before Netflix, which would come home because 8 o'clock, I get to see Adrienne Barbeau in this show, whether it's Drew Carey or Grey's Anatomy or Maude or anything else, right? It's a very cool feeling. Now, you're known as one of the scream queens. Okay. If people don't know what that is, it's an actor who part of her life was doing horror films, right? Seen You in
Mhm.
the Fog. All right. One of my favorite films, I know you talked about a lot, is Swamp Thing. Okay. Love Swamp Thing because you became kind of like a sexual icon in TV, whether you know it or not. You were one of the women that people were on the top 10 of dating, right? We all had our list. And I'm throwing you out there because we all fell in love with you in Swamp Thing. And, there was a part where he took off the zucchini and put it right on your thing. You're like, man, I want to be Swamp Thing for 5 minutes, just like something like that. How did you like working in that film, knowing that years later, people still well, even though the graphics and everything are not as today, we still look forward to seeing you in that film and how iconic it is. How do you like working in a film like that, in a sci-fi film with Swamp Thing?
Well, of course, when you're doing it, when we were doing The Fog or Escape or Swamp Thing or
Yeah,
Creepshow, the ones that, people always come back to, Cannonball Run, whatever. But when you're doing it, and especially in those days, this was long before, certainly long before DVDs and long before streaming and probably even just early days of VHS.
yeah,
Um, None of us, I don't think, ever thought, oh my gosh, in 40 years, people are still going to be coming up to me saying, I love you in the fog. I just watched it last night, or I love Swamp Thing. It's my favorite film. Or so you just set out to do the very best you can to be true to the character and true to the words and give the director what he wants. But I certainly wasn't thinking back when we were doing Swamp Thing. What I was thinking was, oh my God, is there a chair on my back? Is that a tick? What is that? Because we were in the swamps. It was horrible. It was not
yeah.
an easy shoot.
No, it was hard. People, and today they do a lot of that stuff in studios and stuff to save money, obviously, instead of location, they rent the studio. Um, the makeup part must have been hours upon hours for your co-star to look like that.
It
Were
was
you in the room
brutal.
when they were bringing him out? Because did he have to go to sleep wearing all that? Because that's a lot of work.
It wasn't, it was brutal for Dick because it wasn't applied makeup. It was a costume. It was a
Yeah.
rubber costume that was made very cheaply and very badly and kept tearing. And once they put him in it, that was it. He didn't go to the bathroom for hours and hours and hours, and it was hot there. He was he was a prince to go through all of that. Um, I did a series for HBO called Carnival.
Yeah.
And in the first year, we had, what was his character name? Not Lizard Man. I can't remember, but John Fleck played the role. And his work was makeup. He was
Mhm.
covered with scales.
Yeah.
Remember the name of the character. And
I'll come
it
to you
took
when
them,
we're done. Watch. You'll hang up and be like, that's the name. Let me call Todd back.
yeah. It took them hours to get him in the makeup and 4 hours to get him out of the makeup. And eventually it led to the demise of the character because when the second season came along, they just couldn't, it was costing too much money for this poor actor to, have maybe 2 minutes on screen or 3 minutes on screen and have to sit in a makeup chair for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Um, but Dick Durock from Swamp Thing,
Mm.
his was a costume and it was not fun.
And now we just got a little insight. And then I believe they complimented your role, even though it was a new woman. I think Heather Locklear, I believe, played the second Swamp Thing
Yeah,
because
I never saw that, but
really,
I
you never saw the sequel?
no.
No, really?
No, but I did go on. They made a series
Yeah,
of Swamp Thing, and there you're talking about the difference between being on location, as we were with the original in South Carolina. I think it was called Cypress Gardens and Magnolia Gardens, the two swamps. But in the series, they built the swamp, and it was remarkable. It was truly incredible. Unfortunately, it was after Wes Craven, the director, had passed because I saw that and I thought, oh my God, what Wes wouldn't have given to be able to shoot in this swamp in a studio.
oh, yeah. And all the actors will love it because when you're in a swamp, you don't see what's in the water. So it's like, and honestly, thank God that your guy had a suit that he didn't have to take off because if he had to go to the bathroom, that probably could have had to all the alligators, like, we really don't appreciate what you're doing to our home. So we're going to stay away from you for a while, which, all the guest stars like, no, we appreciate this because we're not going to get eaten in our shoot. So this is really cool. We appreciate it.
When I came out of the swamp in the original movie, Swamp Thing, they had, well, first of all, they had to they took cotton balls and dipped them in antiseptic and antibiotic liquid and everything and put them in our ears. And then when we came out, they had to wash us down with, you know, antiseptics, I guess it was. It
Of
was,
course.
it was, it was vile.
Yeah, you don't know what's in there. And then to move forward, there is a film full of people that are still working today. If you guys haven't seen this film, go to it. They have a sequel. Cannonball Run is one of my, I'm going to say 20 because there's so many great movies out there. Cannonball Run is definitely a go-to film for me. Dom DeLuise, Burt Reynolds. If I'm not mistaken, your co-star in the Lamborghini, I could be wrong. She might be in a second. Was the lady that played Daisy Duke, or was it another
No,
character?
no,
I am wrong.
an actress named Tara Buckman.
Tyra Buckman, right? I
Yeah,
always get that confused.
yeah.
You have a scene. If you guys don't see it, you got to see this film. It's you're driving in a Lamborghini. You guys are doing really well, and to get out of tickets, you had to get feminine. We'll put it that way, right? And then there's a part where you decided it's your turn, but the cop that pulls you over happens to be a woman just as voluptuous as you are.
Valerie Perrine.
It was such a great scene. How did you like working on a set of Cannonball Run? And to this day, if you ever look back at that movie, because you don't know it at the time, besides Burt Reynolds and Dom, but you ever look back and realize the icons that came out of this film, like Jackie Chan, right?
It
You
was
ever look
Jackie
back and
Chan. I
watch
think it
that?
was Jackie Chan's first film in the States. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you ever look back and just be like, I can't believe I was a part of that film. That film is just amazing.
You know what was wonderful for me about the film was getting to work with Roger Moore. I
Oh
was,
my
I
God,
was, I
yes.
was, I was, I was sort of speechless. And at one point, we were filming in Lancaster, California, which the desert, and Roger's air conditioning went out in his trailer, and he came over and knocked on my door and asked if he could sit in my trailer to get cool. And I thought, oh my God, Roger Moore, what am I going to talk to him about? Oh my God, So that was the high point for me, and working with Dino, of course, who
Dean
was
Martin. Yeah, Dean Martin and Sammy
Dean,
Davis
Dean
Jr.
Martin, and uh, So there were some fun moments. I loved Dom. I knew Bert. I had dated Bert, years prior, and
I
so
was waiting for you to bring that up. I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah, I knew Bert, and then I went on. I don't know if it was before or after Cannonball, but I went on to star in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for him down at his theater in Jupiter with Marty Sheen, with Bert
Wow.
directing. So, I had worked with Bert, and uh, I still have the football that Terry Bradshaw signed for me because Terry was in
Oh, in the brawl, they did the brawl. Oh my God.
the. Yeah.
Now you're bringing back moments to me because I keep forgetting some of the people, you know,
Oh,
it's just,
Peter. I mean, I didn't work with a lot of them, but there was Peter Fonda, Bianca Jagger, Molly Picone. Let's see who else.
I'm getting
Valerie
goosebumps.
Brine.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps
Brine.
thinking about all this.
Mel Tillis. Yeah.
Just an iconic, and the doctor with the cross-eyed,
Jack Elam.
Jack Elam.
Jack
Oh my
Elam.
God, icon. Like this is a film. I'm telling you guys, go watch Cannonball Run. It's amazing when you see what people do later in life, and then when you ever see a film from back in the day or even a couple of years ago, you don't even realize who's in that film sometimes until you check back, like, wow, this film. Imagine what that film would be today if all these actors were around today, like still doing what they do. The budget on this thing would be insane because you wouldn't be able to afford, like even with you wouldn't be able to afford it. You would have to bring on because a lot of those actors were aspiring actors, new actors coming on top of, because Dean Martin alone and Sammy Davis was just a combination of themselves. Whenever they were in the Ferrari, and he's like, "There's two seats, right?" It's like, "Where's he gonna sit?" And the outtakes, I would just watch the film for the outtakes, just to be honest with you, because I know you two in your Lamborghini had so many funny moments, especially with Dom DeLuise. Like you can't, you have to.
Dumb, Dumb was great. Dumb was great. If you watch the outtakes and you watch the final outtakes, you you will see I didn't always have the same reaction that everybody else did to the film. Um, and in the final outtakes, when Bert is slapping Dom, if you look over at me on the right-hand side, you'll see uh, I didn't think it was funny by that time. I was sort of like, wait a minute, guys, this is, but everybody loves the film. Tara and I did a documentary last year for Lamborghini. It was an in-house documentary, but I think it's available all over the place.
Nice.
Because the fellow who bought the Lamborghini I think he spent $450,000 restoring it and loaned it to Lamborghini so that they could do a half-hour documentary about the car and intercut with interviews with Tara and myself and scenes from the movie. And so I got to catch up with her again and see the car, when we do these autograph signings, many people come up to me with a model of the car and ask me to sign the hood.
I love that. Speaking of
Yeah.
signings, I know you tour around on a lot of these cons. Do you have any cons coming up here in New York that you're going to be in for any of these by any chance that my fans should know about?
Not in New York. I do about 4 or 5 a year. I have one coming up in Cincinnati and one in Lexington, one in Seattle,
Mm.
and
Because we
two.
always have a Comic Con here all the time.
I
And
think I did it once. It's is it out by JFK? Or
Comic Con now, I believe, is in New York City.
in
They
New
do it
York
at the
City.
Jacob Javits Center, I think they do it
Oh
at.
no, no. I did one in
Yeah, if you're
is
talking
there
about
is is,
JFK, you're
is
talking
there
about
a
Brooklyn.
horse there's a racetrack.
I think it's still there. You're talking about oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. It might have closed down that racetrack. I know exactly the
Okay,
racetrack.
well, there was some venue
Right.
near there, and I did do one, but it's been quite many years ago. And I was actually supposed to do Chiller in New York. I mean, in
Nice.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Again, this is going back a couple of years, and I was shooting uh, for Harlan Coben. I was doing a series for Amazon called Shelter, and I just couldn't get there that weekend. So
It
I haven't
happens.
been too much on the East Coast
It
recently.
happens. Listen, you've done so much. We're gonna get to what you just wrapped now, but the other thing, my brother will kill me if I don't bring this up. He wanted me to ask you about Back to School because that's another. If you guys like Rodney Dangerfield, this is a film you gotta have to watch. So you played the wife who most likely married Rodney for his money, and you obviously did not like him at all. And there is a funny scene that I've memorized where you had friends and you were trying to impress them, and you looked at Thornton Mellon and you were like, Thornton, don't you think there's a nice color shade of green? And he's like, yeah, if it had six holes in it, it could be a pool table. And I was like,
That
oh,
was Rodney. That was Rodney. I mean, Rodney did everything he possibly could to get his entire act on screen. And the poor director, you would have to come up to him and say, Rodney, it's really funny. I don't think it works for the character here.
did, did he ad lib a lot of stuff? Because
Oh,
I can't see it written down because even when your character got caught cheating, he's like, hey, I don't understand this. What's this? What's you, the man? And what's with the monkey?
and the midget, and the midget.
And the
Yeah.
I was breaking a rib because your face, you were just like, oh, and you walked out of the room. I'm like, they must have had to do that take at least five, six times because I was dying during it. I don't
He
know how
was
you did it.
He was just great fun to work with. He was wonderful and a real sex symbol. When I first got on the stage the very first day, there was a line of women standing outside his dressing room door, waiting in the hopes that he was going to come out and they might get a hug or a kiss.
Oh my God. I wish I was a fly on the wall during some of these scenes. Because you're somebody I could talk to forever. You have such a glowing personality about you, and the best part about it is, and Holland even said it, it's so great to work with people that are even better off screen than when you see them on screen. Because sometimes it's hard to relate to the person because when you become such an iconic character, no matter what films, I'm sure you've had incidents where people will call you that character instead of Adrian, right? Where it's like, yeah, I'm actually not that person. I'm different. Because the great thing is you do voiceovers, you do Catwoman in the Batman animated series, you've done in Scooby-Doo, you've done video games. I've seen you in Sons of Anarchy, the Drew Carey show. Oh yeah, I told you I memorized you. So you're just like, who's this guy stalking?
Sons of Anarchy, not too many people mention that, but that was a character, wasn't it? Man,
It was
that
a
was
great
cool.
character. Well, because you've done so much that sometimes it's hard to keep up with so many great roles because people know you from Maude and like we spoke about Grease with Rizzo. And I was speaking to you off camera. I would love to see kind of like where they are today type of thing, like a new type of story of the Grease. I think it'd be great if they ever redid it because they redid it the second time it did Michelle Pfeiffer. You did the Broadway show, but I would love to see you if they revised that again in Greece. I think it would be great. Kind of like you play the mother now, obviously, but you're still the badass Rizzo raising a new Rizzo, right? Call it Liz, something like that. Have you ever thought about going back to Broadway?
Um, I don't think about it a lot, but if the right role came along, someone was talking to me about the other day about Misery, Stephen King
Oh
originally,
my
uh,
God, yeah,
especially in terms of my being known in the horror genre. I
yeah.
thought, oh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. But
Oh yeah.
uh, you know, if the right thing comes along.
I would love to see you in another horror film. I really would.
Oh, well, I've got two that I just finished.
Let's talk about oddities. Let's talk about the first one. We're rolling right into it, people. Okay. Let's talk about oddities. I know you just wrapped this film and you just got to go ahead to talk about it a little as per Harlan. Harlan's gonna be like, why are you mentioning my name? No, Harlan, I got love for you, bro. Harlan Ball is her publicist. Harlan's great. Let's talk about oddities. Tell me about this role because I have no idea about it. I only know the title. Tell me about it.
Okay. Oddities started out, we started filming during the pandemic a short film called
Mhm,
Oddities, in which I played a woman who runs a small curio shop, an antique shop with
mhm.
oddities in it. And this fellow and this gal come in, they're both stoned out of their minds, and they're looking to steal something that they've seen in the shop. And it sort of goes wrong for them as a result of who I am. So that
Right.
was the short film, Oddities. Uh, has had I don't like that hundreds of thousands of views. I think you can see it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's available now.
Yeah. But the feature, written and directed by Tyler Savage, who did the short film, we filmed in Kentucky
Hmm.
last May. They're just doing the final mix now, and we hope to have a premiere probably in May. Uh, um,
Can we get one here in New York? Can we get a red carpet premiere?
have you? Well,
'Cause I do a lot of red carpets. I do a lot of on location stuff, and a lot of my I always got throw that out there. Are we doing a little red carpet? Because New York is a film capital.
we'll see. Maybe Tribeca will bring us in. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, all right.
But uh, a similar character in that now she lives on a farm and she has a 5,000 square foot barn filled with oddities and curios and antiques. And the set decorator and set designer just did an incredible job. And sort of a Thelma and Louise meet the quiet place. Two young girls are on the lam.
Yeah.
They've they've committed a crime. They're on the lam. They come to this farmhouse, and the woman brings them in, says hi to the cops. Oh, everything okay? And only she says it in her Kentucky accent, and brings the girls in, and they're like, "Oh my God, she saved our lives." What they don't know is she has an ulterior motive in saving their lives.
I
And
like
it
that.
goes from there.
This is a chiller. I can't wait for the trailer to come out for something like this.
It's
I always tell people the best trailer is when they don't show a lot.
yes, yes. And we have three marvelous stars. Lovey Simone, who is a young actress who has a series on Netflix right now called Forever, I think it is, a YA series.
Yeah,
Lilimar, who is a big voice actress. I should get a list of all of the shows that she's done. She was a Nickelodeon star, and Xander Berkeley from Walking Dead and
yeah.
many things, and myself, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. So there's that one, and then just last month I finished Hannah Goes to Hell with Chrissy
Okay.
Fox. Chrissy Fox, who your audience will know if they're into horror, from Terrifier 3. And she has several other films that she's starred in and produced
Yeah.
that are on Shudder right now, I think, or Hulu. And so we just finished that one, and we'll see how that one works out.
We're excited for you and congrats. This is awesome. I'm excited. I love to hear that. It's not just one project. We got two horror films coming out. I think Oddities, I think it's going to be more suspenseful because when you can do a story that anybody can get sucked into, the two nice girls, that something happened, they're looking for a place to hide out, and such a nice person takes them in. That can happen to anybody because humans, we have an up and down bad side to us. We trust people, we love people, but you never know who you're trusting with your life.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
Oddity sounds like is
Yeah.
all about. That should be like the tagline, like you never know who you could trust,
Ah.
especially when they open the door to their home. Coming
I'll
soon.
tell Tyler. I'll tell
Oddities. Oh yeah,
Tyler.
I do voiceover and stuff, so it's kind of like you're sitting there like, look at this mofo trying to get a job right now. Look at this. Look at him trying to get the Trailer Boys. I hear, I hear. Yeah, I'm excited. And the name, what was the other name again of the other movie?
Hannah goes to hell.
And they're both going to be in theaters. Is that correct?
We're hoping so. Well, Hannah Goes to Hell may I don't know if they'll have a theatrical release yet. I haven't talked to them since. I mean, actually, I'm going to see them all tomorrow night, but I know they will be streaming.
Yeah.
Um,
I love streaming. Don't get me wrong. There's something about being able to now that me and you didn't have growing up, where you can actually watch a season or whatever based on your time instead of the time of the networks, right? So that's the advantage of streaming. But I'm really hoping there's going to be a turnaround that theaters not become libraries, meaning that where books just end up on the shelves and nobody reads them anymore,
mm,
where films go right to streaming because I don't care what anybody says, none of us can afford to build a theater in our home unless you can really do it, right? There's something about going to the movie, getting movie popcorn, being on a date or with your family, stereo surround sound, a huge screen, and you just can't beat it. You just can't. You're going to see entertainment instead of sitting in your bed because the difference is when you're there, you're not really going to leave. When you're in your bed, I see a lot of people pausing it. Let me watch the
mhm.
rest tomorrow, right? But when you're in the theater and it's around you in the film, there's an essence of, wow, that was awesome. I need to go back. So I'm hoping theaters do not become dinosaurs because at the end of the day, evolution is what depicts what happened to the dinosaurs, the cavemen, and this and that. We should not have the right to depict when a theater becomes a dinosaur. It should last throughout the decades, especially when it comes to the arts. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm hoping that the industry, because now we've got verticals. Do you know what vertical? You've heard of verticals?
A
Now
vertical
we've
film?
got verticals, which are films that are made on the iPhone and
What?
they're watched on the iPhone. So, I the industry needs to get back to basics maybe and stop remaking the same thing over and over again because it made millions there and get back to some really good stories.
I
Uh,
love it.
and
I agree with you 100. And if they do a vertical, I think a vertical, like anything, would be good for a different type of trailer. Like make the YouTube trailer horizontal, but if you want to make a vertical for the Gen Zs, you can do that for a trailer. But a film is always better when you could watch it. If I'm on my phone, that's supposed to be a temporary thing. I'm not going to sit on my phone for an hour and a half watching a film. And if I do, it's probably because I'm doing my laundry, right? Or something like that. But I hope that the industry one day decides streaming platforms are great, but let's make a rule. The film needs to be out for, normally on films, they're usually out for at least 6 weeks in theater, minimum, right? I think a film should have a lifespan at least 6 to 8 weeks in theater, then it goes to a streaming platform. It shouldn't be, it's out in the theater, but then in a week from now it's streaming because it doesn't do anything. And I think it's nice. I would love to see more red carpets, for theaters, get back to that more instead of it being the blockbuster film. You know, I would like to see more TV shows get a red carpet, to premiere their first episode in the theater. I think that would be really cool because TV shows are not being looked at as much anymore because everything's streaming now, because I could see NBC and Fox just going to streaming. It's just my opinion. But to be able to go to a theater and see somebody like you on a big screen, you can't beat it. And I'm hoping one day that lasts the test of time because your career has lasted the test of time. So the least we can do is honor you by buying a ticket and going to see you in the theater.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So guys, when the movie comes out in May, go see Oddities. But that's the first one. Go see Oddities, go buy a ticket, go buy a popcorn, because if anybody's worth paying the fee, it's this lady right here, Tony-nominated actress, Adrienne Barbeau. Adrienne, love your personality. And on behalf of my team, thank you for being a guest on FaceTime with Todd Wharton. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Todd. Stay warm.
So don't go away, guys. It's coming right back. It's country music star Grace Humphries, and she'll be here performing a hit song, Why'd You Give Up, right here on FaceTime with Todd Wharton. So stick around.
Listen up. Are you embarrassed to show your feet in public? Do you wear water shoes to the pool or wear socks to bed? Do you bury your feet in the sand when you're at the beach? Do your feet look like this? Okay, calm down. And that's why you must have Fix Your Fungal Nail. You just simply want to get rid of those gross, disgusting, embarrassing toenails. Trust me, I'm the queen of toes. Check it out. Go to fixyourfeetproducts.com and I'll see you soon.
Go to fixyourfeetproducts.com. That's fixyourfeetproducts.com.
Hey guys, you're about to watch my music video, Why'd You Give Up, right here on FaceTime with Todd Wharton. Check it out.
Party? I heard your friends are gonna be there.
Your friends know about us?
No, but they will.
I bump into you, and you say you're sorry. Just simple courtesy, but I'd like to think it's an apology for the heart you broke, for the heart you stole. How could you ignore me when I loved you so? I'm just another girl walking through these doors, and I know I don't exist to you anymore. Oh,
So I just want to take a moment and thank my guests, Adrienne Barbeau and Grace Humphries, for stopping by FaceTime with Todd Wharton. I got to say, one of the greatest things I love about being a talk show host, especially in our 5th year anniversary, is I get to not only speak to new and upcoming stars of Hollywood, but I get to speak to those that I grew up watching, whether it's in film, music, concerts, TV, you name it, and get to know them and then eventually call them my friends. So Adrienne, it was such an honor speaking with you today. Congratulations on such an illustrious career. And she's not over yet, guys. She has a lot more in the can to go. And Grace Humphries, I love the song, Why'd You Give Up? You're definitely a star in the making. By the way, guys, if you recognize Grace, you should. Right now, as we speak, she's appearing on NBC's The Voice Champions. That's right. Go check it out. That's why she looks familiar. And guys, both these ladies are incredible talent. Follow them on all social media platforms, just like I do. And check me out on all the red carpets coming up, because it is the 5-year anniversary and everybody wants FaceTime with Todd Wharton at their events just to have some fun and have some laughs. And I'm excited about this year. Guys, I know you loved this episode. You know I did. But like I always say at the end of the day, if you're not living a passionate life, it means like you live it. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon.